Welcome to Business One-to-Ones with OJ Lopez. Business One-to-Ones is a web show about your local entrepreneurs and their businesses, starting with my very own BNI investment chapter. We want to know more about their businesses, and we figured to document the conversations because it might give value to many, especially their customers and the clients, and also for aspiring entrepreneurs. This episode is brought to you by REMAX PRO.
Do you need help in selling or leasing your premium property? Do you plan to invest in a home for your family? Or a property investment that can grow your money? For all your real estate needs, let REMAX PRO help you, the world's #1 real estate brand. With a global network of more than 120,000 agents and over 8,000 offices worldwide.
And we are now in Cebu.
Visit REMAX PRO office at City Times Square 2, across Park Mall, or send us a message here, like our Facebook page to get updates and for future reference.
For this episode, we have a very special guest, which is the agency owner of Maxicare, and she has been in the sales and marketing profession for 9 years. And her hobbies and interests include singing, dancing, and coaching. And she believes that the power of a vision coupled with hard work and discipline lead to your success. So without further ado, please welcome Miss Chai Nacua of Maxicare. Ma'am Chai, welcome to the show.
Hello, OJ. Thank you for having me here in your show. And it's a privilege because I know that you being seen in CNN. So that's one of our advantages in the chapter, having you with us. Thank you.
Of course, it is our honor for you to be here. And so let's get right into it. During our weekly BNI meeting, our members are given the chance to present their businesses for about 60 seconds or so. And at this point, let's hear your weekly presentation.
All right. Again, my name is Chai Nacua, managing owner of an agency at Maxicare. What I do is I help people prepare ahead of the situation in regard to hospitalization, most especially that we are facing this COVID threat, and it is uncontrollable. And good news, because Maxicare covers any card member of Maxicare. We cover them up to the maximum benefit limit of their plan. And that is something we need to look into, because our government can only cover so much, but Maxicare will do the rest for as long as it is in their plan. So we cannot take chances as far as health, because we cannot see our enemy, right? So that's why we in healthcare, in Maxicare, that's our job. We help people prepare ahead before any occurrences happen. And also OJ, we do it 24/7. Our transactions are all paperless, so we don't need to go out and meet our client, just so they get covered with us. They can do email, they can do or send to us the application via Messenger.
All right, great. And what is an ideal referral for you and your business?
Because we're catering healthcare, that means from birth to old age. And our this company is expert in delivering services, especially to small and medium enterprises and also large companies. So we also offer services nationwide. Even if we're here in Cebu, we have clients that we serve outside of Cebu.
Okay, great. So now let's know a little bit of history about you and your business because uh, obviously no going into the insurance industry no there's no direct path to it, right? So how did you get into this kind of business?
Okay, good question. I started. It started with my experience with health and wellness. So every time I present my product for health and wellness, say supplementation, the person I am with will end the discussion by asking me if I have a health care. So I tell them plainly that I don't have a health care. So this has been there for like months. The need has been there. So I was really thinking about it to consider going into healthcare because the need of the market is healthcare, not really my product. So with much prayer and thoughts, I finally decided to take a look at healthcare, particularly Maxicare, being one of the best HMO in the country. Very stable, financially sound, and we are government compliant with IC or Insurance Commission, and we are also the only HMO that is ISO accredited, as far as I know.
All right. Okay. That's very good to know. And now I also know that you are also have a team surrounds you, right? And you are mentoring these people who also wants to embark and join you in this journey in providing healthcare to many. So for those people aspiring to go into your industry, what advice can you give them for them to have a successful and sustainable business?
Okay, thank you. Yes, it's true. I have a team. In fact, uh, I was surprised that I was told that our team is the largest in the Visayas and Mindanao.
Wow.
Yes, and I have today more than 200 sales consultants, and I have also around 8 unit heads. Me being the agency head, so I'm overseeing 8 unit heads, and they are also taking care of their units. So uh, thankfully, I'm so grateful that I'm able to, my mindset, OJ, is I just want to be an opportunity giver. It started there. I want to give them this opportunity. There is a platform. Maxicare is already a ready-made business, and how can I inspire others to follow or even outsmart what I'm doing? Because I believe that there are people who are better than me, and so once given the opportunity, I know they can soar high, far better than what you do. So that is my fulfillment. Seeing people at first they don't appreciate how to do healthcare business because in their mindset um, they don't have medical background just like me, but thankfully because of the system in place plus our BNI system, it's rolling into one, and I am confident that given this system and the core values in place, people in my team will have no reason not to soar high.
Wow, that's very profound, Ma'am Chai. And I think that the next question that I'm gonna ask you is somewhat relevant to our times. I'm talking about this COVID-19 pandemic, right? So, and of course, definitely there's a lot of people being affected by it, not only in terms health-wise, but also in economic terms as well. Uh, so my question is, how is this pandemic affecting your business? Whether it's negative or positive, I can see how healthcare can be beneficial at this point in time. And what are you doing to mitigate its effects?
All right. Um, the effects of pandemic is real, are real, right? And like BNI, MaxiCare is also proactive. In fact, there has been a lot of meetings, Google Meetup, Zoom, and all that, that has been happening since the last 2 months. And we are proacting the situation. So, because it's healthcare, we're into healthcare, and we are also at the same time facing this pandemic, all healthcare related. So, we know that we just need to change our mindset that we should be the problem solvers out there. We could not just allow our businesses not to be heard by people who are potentially in need of our product. Because MaxiCare is not a so-so company. Our team is also professionally delivering the services. So we just have to make a noise and tell people that there is a way to protect them against these uncontrollables. So I'm telling you, MaxiCare is proactive. My team is also at par with the situation. We just have to let our co-members understand that they have in their hands an opportunity to help people in need of at least a prepaid coverage, a comprehensive coverage, uh, a corporate package. We all have that plans. And what I like about our products, it varies according to needs.
Is there somewhat a minimum, like for example, there's a lot of businesses right now, especially micro and small enterprises, who are looking into these kinds of products. Uh, is there somewhat a minimum of people that you need to employ in order for you to avail of these services?
Yes. To the understanding of many, they thought that they cannot get a corporate package because there are not too many of them. But
Yes.
MaxiCare offers a minimum of 10 for SMEs up to, we have this package, we call it our hot cake program. We call it MaxiCare Plus. Minimum of 10 employees, regular employees, up to 99 employees. So good news because it's cheaper compared to if I purchase it personally,
Mhm.
where I absorb all the risk as compared to minimum of 10, where the risk is spread. And with 10, they are their pre-existing coverage is covered at the time the plan is effective. So minimum of 10 only, provided this SME can give us the needed requirements for them to be enrolled in MaxiCare. And by the time the plan is effective, and once there are emergency cases related to pre-existing or even COVID-related things, MaxiCare is going to guarantee a protection up to the plan limit of what they have chosen as a package. So
All right.
pre-existing is pre-existing. It is something that will solve a problem because the very reason, OJ, people wants to be covered because of the pre-existing.
Mhm.
And so we have a package that answers to that concern.
All right. Well, the one thing about because I have very little knowledge about insurance until when I went to the US and my brother was diagnosed with cancer. So uh, needless to say, in that developed country, the question is who's your insurance provider. But here in the Philippines, it's usually do you have insurance. So it's still very binary. If it's not even a standard for many people to have coverage. So why do you think that is happening in our country? The
Okay,
insurance is like it's like a luxury and not a must-have.
right. I think we're grateful for the BPO industry. Because of this industry, the healthcare industry emerges naturally.
Mm.
And so, because in the US or other parts of the other country outside of the Philippines, um, healthcare is an in thing. It's part of the essentials, the
Yes.
basics. So when they conducted an offshore operation, these businesses are here already spread in the country. The second next considered of an applicant is, yeah, aside from your offer, do you have a health care? So they were the ones who started the revolution actually,
Wow.
because the old businessmen here in our country do not really mind healthcare. They're
Yeah.
only up to fill health coverage.
Mhm.
So you know what, OJ, in any hospitalization admission, let's say for instance the billing reaches to 100,000. Mind you, PhilHealth will only deduct 20% of the 100,000. The 80%, if they don't have a coverage, that admitted member will advance it from their company. So, but if they have a Maxicare plan, the 80,000, which is the balance, will be shouldered by Maxicare. So that will take out the headache of the
Mhm.
employers actually. Because um, choosy na rin ang mga applicants. They don't want to get that slot if there is no healthcare protection built in sa package.
Wow. Yeah, because during when we were undergoing chemotherapy with my brother, now the bill actually reached about $500,000, and because of insurance, no, we probably paid, probably 1% of that or 2% of that. Yeah, so that's actually a lifesaver for him. So if he had cancer here in the Philippines, he could have been dead already, and because there's no like stem cell transplant, things of that nature. So that's why I'm definitely a believer of insurance. But now let's go to why MaxiCare, because there's a lot of insurance provider out there, right? And why should consumers seriously consider MaxiCare to be their provider?
Okay, thank you. Just like any other business, MaxiCare is not also perfect. It continues to improve. But one thing I appreciate about this company is because of its financial soundness. I've done a lot of company analysis. I've done a lot of comparison between companies, among companies, the top five players, and MaxiCare really comes out the best because of the comprehensive coverage of the program. In fact, if all employees choose the 500,000 maximum benefit limit, that is on a per illness basis. You're not gonna get the entire year's protection all from 500,000. It is splintered into five separate 500,000 for cancer of the liver, cancer of the what, or dengue or COVID. So they have coverage for each illness. So that's how comprehensive it is. Another thing is our access. So it's designed to make the members experience a hassle-free healthcare program because our doctors are plenty. No, we Maxicare do not just accredit a fresh graduate doctor. Our team at Maxicare, at least the applicants, the doctor applicants will go through a process. We have an accreditation team to do that. They are, to begin with, they must be an internist or a specialist. And Maxicare has thousands of doctors in the country from under different specialization. And our hospitals, we don't accredit the so-so hospitals where there is not much facility, because the intention of Maxicare is to really allow the person, the card member, to experience a hassle-free hospitalization checkup and all that. And from what I know from management, Maxicare do not have a pending liability with any of our partner doctors, clinics, and hospital. And if ever there are, it is the doctor or the hospital who are not giving us complete documentation of their claim. So because we want to, Maxicare protects their name. Definitely, it will not reach 33 years, OJ, if they don't mind their name, their reputation. So I'm very confident with Maxicare. Imperfect company, but we continue to improve to meet clients' needs. And our products are varied. We have prepaid products, emergency only, admission only, consultation only. We have that. We also have a comprehensive package where we cover all of those that I have mentioned. And we can also design a what we call revolving fund type, where a company puts in an amount because maybe budgetary constraint or their employees reach to 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000. So we have a package for that, a revolving fund type kind of package. At the end of the contract year, if there is an unused funds, that company will receive that unused funds.
Wow. All right. So you have already. My next question was supposed to be, what products or services you want to highlight. But I guess you already covered that. Yeah. But is there any other products and services that you want to highlight and promote at this point?
All right. Maxicare has 3 outlets. That's our newest clinic in Ayala. Maxicare owns that. One in Galleria and one in Cybergate Puente. So Robinson Cybergate Puente. These are facilities. The 2 are sister companies of Maxicare, but the one in Ayala is really owned by Maxicare. And it is a facility exclusive only for members, Maxicare members. Okay, so I want to highlight that because not too many people know that they can take also advantage of having themselves checked in these facilities.
Wow.
with a feeling of not having been checked in a hospital. If you're in a hospital, you have a different feeling, but if you are in a hotel type kind of facility,
Yes.
madali ka lang maayok.
Yes. Yeah. Especially if it's
Easily
in a
get
mall,
recovered.
right? Yeah, if it's in a
Yes,
mall,
yes.
it's like, your routine shopping. Okay?
Yes.
You buy your shoes, you buy your clothes, and you get yourself checked. So nothing too big, right?
Yes.
Rather than going to the hospital and
Exactly.
yeah. I see the point. All right. Yeah. Okay, and then at this point, okay, to make this an official one-to-one, we have to talk, of course, why we are doing this show is that we are members of this organization called the Business Network International, wherein we are encouraged to know more about our fellow members, thus, doing this kind of one-to-one interview, so I would know more about them. And so, Ma'am Chai, uh, why did you join BNI?
Okay, good question. So when I met BNI through a Facebook posting by a friend, I get interested because I see the positivity already of the group. It made me curious, so I was the one who initiated a chat with that person. And so when I realized that it is a team of businessmen here in the city whose objective is to refer businesses with in the within the system and their core values. So you cannot just join a group because you want business. You need to know if there is a system and there is values in it. So when I learned about it, business and relationship combined, so I thought about, can this help my existing Maxicare agency? So I also had a checklist. So when everything was checked, so I attended their first meeting and I was impressed by the by the people around and the organizers. And I also invited some of my top leaders in the agency, and now they are in another. Uh, that woman, the lady Samantha, is in the gold chapter. No, so she's also doing well there. She's doing great, and I also think of inviting the other. I just don't want to invite my teammates who are not also open-minded. Yes. And I chose BNI because it parallels what I want to do. So being the main trainer in my agency, I am particular with people doing business within the system. So I see that in BNI. So when I see that in BNI, why will I enroll in a course where I will pay more, where BNI is here? We have the BNI University
Yes.
to challenge our thinking, to always be positive and be a blessing to others. So when I check on the cost, it did not really matter to me. Of course, if you want business, there's always a cost
Yes.
involved. Yes. This is an exclusive team with good-hearted men and women whose intention is to help people make their lives better. And I like it.
Right. And what can you say to our visitors who joined the meeting and on the verge of joining? They feel that they like to join but are quite hesitant. What can you say to them to encourage them, whether this organization is the right one for them?
All right. For the visitors, it's really up to them what they're looking for at this point in time. Because if they're only looking for business, and the cost will definitely matter to them. But if they want to develop themselves, constantly be with people who are like-minded, and continue to learn and develop meaningful relationship, and so that's what they will get in BNI. If you present to them the 32K, that's why in the mentoring team, that's my role in our chapter. I always tell them what I found first in BNI. This is not just to hunt people, because that's the common right away. The common intention is to get, take advantage of people, and they fail to give. So I'm taking the role, a critical role for a new member to last. So I will just remember what I saw first in BNI and where am I now. And I'm more getting not really the business, but my what I have become in BNI, the confidence, the connection, and even if the business will just come at the perfect time. I'm not really focused on that because my learnings here in BNI is practice in my own agency. So that's what I like in what's happening with me in BNI.
Yeah. But that's actually one of the the things why I also joined the chapter. You were president when I joined. You know, you were the
Oh,
chapter when you were the chapter president when I joined BNI, and as a visitor, you know, I think I have visited about 3 chapters already, and then they were luring me in to join their chapter. It was actually you as president, messaging me as a visitor and following up on me, and that resonates with me. That if that kind of leadership, the president itself would follow up on a visitor now with all the responsibilities that you have in the leadership team and handling a whole chapter. No, that really how you take care of the members, and that's why those are the one of the push that okay, I'm gonna join investment. So it's also about what you did during that time, Mom Chai.
thank you. I even forgot that.
and,
Thank you,
then, and then
OG.
and then my reply to you was I maybe I'm supposed to join the other chapter because when our core group was dissolved, we were supposed to join another chapter and everybody would be intact. And I don't have also a competitor on that particular chapter, so it was supposed to be smooth sailing for me. But when Aaron invited me to join, visit investment, and how this group is not just for business, but it's genuinely helping each other out and really seeing the sincerity of each member to reach out and kind of even from the one just once or twice that I've been with you guys, it really resonates with me on how you take care of each other, and that's how it came to be when I wanted to join this chapter to take part in that culture as well. So
Wow.
that was under your leadership. Okay, so I just want to commend you on that.
Wow. My pleasure.
Okay, so to make this an official one-to-one, we have to do our gains exchange.
Yes.
Yes, and so
Yes.
gains exchange or gains is an acronym for goals, accomplishments, interests, networks, and skills. So at this point, one of the objectives of doing a one-to-one is to exchange these goals, accomplishments, and interest networks and skills to our fellow BNI members. So, Ma'am Chai, what are your goals, long term and short term, for yourself and for your business?
Okay. Um, for myself, I envision to see myself continuously inspiring people to believe in themselves that they can do a lot in this life that they have. So I see myself as an inspiration giver. Um, that's it. And with that, it has to be coupled with constant learning and reading, especially the Bible. So that's where I'm getting my strength. And the long term is, the long term is to see the impact of what I'm doing now will definitely result to like my agency in Maxicare to be the largest in the country, not just in the Visayas and Mindanao, given the platform and the values that I'm also learning from DNI. And to also see my teammates, especially the unit leaders, to be an inspiration as well. Because they succeed, I succeed.
All right. And then for letter A, it stands for accomplishments. What have you accomplished so far in your career and business?
Okay. So humbling to relate that I started broke when I started this business in Maxicare. I had so much accountabilities to pay off, but after 4 years, it was all paid off.
Wow.
And we're entering into an investment zone right now, and that's what we're looking at. The pay off your debts first, do not engage into buying a lot, and yet the debts are pending. It's not also, it does not describe integrity. So that's what we're just simple people. We want to also share what we have to others.
And let's go to letter I, which stands for interests. What are your interests and hobbies, outside of doing business?
Okay, so like what I texted you,
Mhm.
dancing and singing. So just a little of those. Talking with people really is what I love to do, and imparting to them what have I've been learning, and so that they too will become the best version of themselves. That's where I am interested to doing.
Okay. And let's go to letter N, which means networks. What are the current networks that you are involved with, and uh, current and past networks that you can also share with our fellow BNI members?
Networks. So a church is a network,
Yes, yes,
right?
yes, yes, that's correct.
So we have like global. We belong to a global church with members of over 100,000 globally. Here in Cebu, we are 400 in membership. So aside from my church, this BNI membership, I only limit to one to three so that I can give my focus.
Yes.
It's not also good to be members of a lot of association and end up yourself up absent in meetings.
Right, right. Yeah. All right. So let's go to letter S, which means skills. What are the current skills that you have, and what are the skills that you might want to learn and acquire?
Okay, so I would say that talking to people needs
Yeah.
skills, or skill set. Talking to people, understanding where they are, and leading them to where they want to go. That needs a skill, a good heart, and a sound mind. So, aside from that, talking, counseling, coaching. In my agency, I make sure I train them, and yeah, the training part is heavy because I need to be careful what I give them.
All right. So that concludes our gains exchange. We have a very interesting conversation so far, and we have just uh, we have time for one last question, and I want this to end with something aspirational. So the question is, what lessons in life and in business that you would want to share to young people and aspiring to have a successful career as well?
All right. First is it is important to pray, ask for guidance, and once you identify that this passion will reflect who you are, then do something about it because you cannot fake your success. It has to come from a heart. And if your heart wants to help, then find an opportunity that you can link with that helping heart and make it into a business where you can be honest in what you do, do not shortcut everything that like focus on the money thing right away. It will definitely just come the natural way. And the good news is your success is naturally um the success will just naturally flow. It will just emanate. It will just come out naturally. And another thing is, aside from knowing what your passions are, um, know where you're gonna bring these people to the next point from A to B. So that's where the training part comes in.
Wow. That's a very good soundbite. We can cut that, 30-second soundbite. That was a very good soundbite, speaking about the heart and things of that nature. So with that, Ma'am Chai Nacua, thank you so much for being with us today. It's an honor for us to have you as our guest.